The ParticleNetwork package on pub.dev allows you to create a widget that renders a high-performance and interactive particle network animation that reacts to touch and adapts seamlessly to any screen size. It's perfect as a background for various widgets or for splash screens and login pages. In main.dart, the basic structure of a Flutter app is defined with a main function, a MyApp widget containing a material app, and a MyHomepage widget as the home screen. The default ParticleNetwork widget has no required properties. Add it as the body of the scaffold and press Hot Restart. The widget has been added, but it's hard to see because it uses light colors. Let's fix this by adding the inverse surface color as the background color of the scaffold. Also add a theme data to the material app widget using color scheme from seed with colors.ember. The default widget looks like this. It responds to taps, but it needs customization for a more visually appealing experience. Let's explore its properties and see how the widget changes. The particleCount property specifies the number of particles displayed on the screen. Default is 60. Increase or decrease the value depending on the area the widget occupies on the screen to achieve the desired visual effect. The touchActivation property adds gesture detection and touch response logic. Defaults is true. If set to false, it will render only the lines without any touch interaction. The maxSpeed property determines how fast the particles move. Default is 0.5. Try a value of 0.2 to significantly slow down the particles, and 5.0 to make them move much faster. The maxSize property controls the maximum radius of the particles. Default is 1.5. Set a higher value first, then a lower one to see the difference. The lineDistance property defines the maximum distance between particles for a line to be drawn between them. Default is 100. Play around with the value to see the difference. The particle_color property sets the base color of all particles. Default is white. Let's change it to make the particles stand out more. The lineColor property specifies the color of the lines that connect nearby particles. Default is set from RGB. Set it to light blue. The touchColor property defines the highlight color used for particle interaction. Default is colors.ember. The lineWidth property determines the thickness of the connecting lines. Default is 0.5. Increase it to 2.5 to see the difference. The isComplex property switches the rendering mode to balance visuals and performance. The default is false. When set to true, the widget reduces the number of connecting lines and the number of particles that respond to touch. Set particleCount to 200 to evaluate the difference in the number of lines and touch responsive particles when isComplex is set to true versus false. The fill property determines whether particles are drawn as filled or outlined circles. Default is true. Set fill to false and maxSize to 4.5 for comparison. The drawNetwork property enables or disables the drawing of connecting lines between particles. Default is true. When false, we can see only the moving particles and connecting lines that appear on touch. We've covered all the properties of the ParticleNetwork widget. Now let's create a few custom widgets based on it. The first widget we'll create is Loading Theme, which will change the colors of the ParticleNetwork based on the app's theme. The theme will change randomly when the floating action button is pressed. Cut the default ParticleNetwork widget to the clipboard. Delete the MyHomepage class and assign a scaffold to the home property of Material App. Convert the MyApp class into a stateful widget. Create a variable seed color with the value colors.deepPurple. Add brightness light to the color scheme for the main theme. Copy the theme data into dark theme and change brightness from light to dark. Set the scaffold's background color to colors.black. Add an app bar with the title ParticleNetwork loading theme and set its background color to theme of context color scheme inverse primary. The scaffold's body will consist of a stack widget. At the top of the stack, add a text widget with the label loading, wrapped in and aligned with alignment bottom center and a padding with edge and sets only bottom 48. Hot reload to see the text widget. Add a style using text theme headline large with the primary fixed dim color. Hot reload to see the changes. Good. Now add a floating action button. For onPressed, we need to add a random variable, add it and import Dart math. The onPressed will call setState, which assigns a random color from colors.primaries to the seed color variable. Also add a child with the icon tonality outlined. The theme isn't changing yet. To fix this, we need to wrap the scaffold widget in a builder and assign our seed color variable to the theme data in both the light and dark themes. Great, the theme now changes when pressing the fab. Add the ParticleNetwork widget to our stack and include the necessary import. Everything works well, but since we're using the widget across almost the entire screen, it does not look very attractive, so let's make a few adjustments. Set particleCount to 160. maxSpeed to 1. maxSize to 2.5. lineDistance to 110. ParticleColor to theme of context color scheme primary. lineColor to the seed color variable. touchColor to colors white. lineWidth to 1.5 and hot reload. Okay, now it looks great. The user can have some fun while the data is loading. It would also be a good idea to implement theme persistence, so that once loading is complete, the app continues with the selected theme. Or you could create a relaxation app with soothing music or a timer. This widget is truly versatile. You can use it in all kinds of creative ways. Let's also enable the dark theme and make sure that using themed colors through color scheme is a good idea, and that the colors look great in both themes. In my opinion, it looks really good. The particles in the dark theme appear more highlighted and stand out, creating a beautiful effect that's noticeably different from the light theme. This widget is complete. Let's move on to the next custom widget. The second widget will display 3 credit cards on the screen, each with its own ParticleNetwork widget configured differently based on the card's status. Create a variable seed color with the value colors.deepPurple. Add a theme using theme data with color scheme from seed and brightness light. Copy the theme data into dark theme and change brightness from light to dark. Add an app bar with the title ParticleNetwork mono cards. And set its background color to theme of context color scheme inverse primary. The body will consist of a separated list view builder. Set padding to edge and sets all 32. Item count to 3. Item builder to return card.filled. Separator builder to return sized box with height 16. For the filled card, set elevation to 1. Child to an aspect ratio widget with a ratio of 1.5. The template is ready. Let's start filling in the content of the cards. The child of the aspect ratio will be a stack widget. First, add a position widget with top 10, right 10 and a child decorated box. Set the decoration to a box decoration with border radius circular 8 and color theme of context color scheme surface container lowest with alpha 200. As a child, add a text widget using a switch expression to display different values based on the index. The expression will return classic for 0, world for 1, and elite for 2. Also add the style with theme of context text theme title large. Below, add a position widget with bottom 10 left 16 and a child text that displays the credit card number based on index and the cardholder's name. Set the style to theme of context text theme title large and copy with font way bold. Format the code and hot reload. Good. Now add the ParticleNetwork widget to our stack and include the necessary import. The default widget settings don't reflect the level of prestige of the credit cards. Let's change that. Set particle_color to theme of context color scheme primary. lineColor to theme of context color scheme inverse surface. touchColor to theme of context color scheme secondary. Set particleCount to 40 plus index times 20. maxSpeed to 1 minus index times 0.2. Wrap the operations with index in parentheses for better readability. Temporarily set maxSize to 5 to see how larger particles behave. As you can see, the larger particles overflow beyond the boundaries of the card widget, and that's not optimal. To fix this, add the clip behavior property to our card with the value clip.antialias. Now the larger particles no longer overflow beyond the boundaries of the card, so let's continue. Set maxSize to 3 minus index. lineDistance to 100 minus index times 10. lineWidth to 0.7 plus index times 0.3. Not bad at all. We ended up with 3 credit cards, each using different ParticleNetwork settings, and they really do look uniquely interesting. Let's switch to the dark theme. Finally, we need to fix the dark theme to properly display the colors. Simply wrap the scaffold widget in a builder and perform a hot restart. The dark theme now renders correctly and looks just as good as the light one, with a stronger emphasis on the particles rather than the connecting lines. Switch back to the light theme to make sure everything is working properly. Good. The last widget we'll create will be based on this one, but instead of identical cards, it will display custom credit cards. So let's get started. Change the app bar title from mono to custom cards. Cut the aspect ratio widget to the clipboard. Instead of it, write the function name cardBody, which will take context and index as parameters. This function will return our aspect ratio widget. Paste it from the clipboard. Scroll up and find our list view builder. Cut and replace the card.filled widget with a switch expression. Paste the card.filled widget for the value 0. Duplicate it twice. For the value 0, change fill to outlined. For the value 1, remove .filled entirely. For the value 2, leave the card unchanged. Run hot reload to see our new credit cards. Okay, our cards are almost ready. The one final change we'd like to make is to set a default elevation for all our cards. Awesome! In my opinion, we've achieved a more interesting result than in the custom widget mono card. We now have varied card designs along with distinct backgrounds that emphasize the status of each card, and it works in both light and dark themes. All done. Give it a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you.